This is the judge cutting straight to the heart of the damage. Not just bruises on the body, but deep wounds to a child's sense of safety and self-worth. In family violence cases, emotional scars often outlast the physical ones. And this is a textbook example. Think about it. How does a child recover from hearing their own parent say they don't want them anymore?
All right, then why is the box checked that I'm giving her permission to appeal? There you go. All right, so if you all want to fill out a new trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. All right, the document is over on the box on this side. All right, we're here for sentencing. You entered a plea on July 7th. You applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison, and the state is remaining silent on your application for deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense? Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Just a few factual questions.
Yes.
My client had a psychological disease in this. She hadn't. She has completed some college. Her income was a little bit more than stated at 3,800 and primary language is Spanish.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, no other.
All right, Ms. Ramirez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up. I'm just informed by your counsel that English is not your first language. Spanish, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, so you don't need an interpreter? All right, thank you. All right, the state is silent, so defense.
Your time we would ask that you grant Mr. Ramirez the clarification. After reading over the PSI, we just wanted to highlight a couple of the information our client has been going through her CPS for about 18 months now. She has completed several.
Quick legal insight here. When the state remains silent, it doesn't mean they're siding with the defendant. It's usually part of a plea. Deal. The judge still has full authority to accept or deny any leniency. This is where sentencing can go either way, depending on the judge's read of the facts.
Well, of course, there's events, and of course, they want to talk about the family life, the violence education, and their management. She has also been ongoing. She was going through this Carlos Castillo until just last July. We were supposed to send trial at that time, but it was scheduled two sessions with them, so she went on some additional time.
Everyone, please make sure you whisper.
And so she is still continuing, she is very proactive. She made counseling really to try to understand how behavior that made the children people physically feel victimized and she went forward. In the PSI, we discussed the child was hospitalized. We also just wanted to clarify so there was no hospitalization of the children. In addition to that, we just wanted to also highlight that although the PSI used to highlight one side of the story, there was also information about what come up to that injuries did from Evelyn that was quite compliant and not use as well as Evelyn did not use the outside. Evelyn we spoke about what stated ended she did already not do that. In any event, my client is working. She would like to continue to go to counseling. We do have a trial in CPS Thursday and Friday. And so she is asking for her children to be returned. I understand CPS stuff for each on. She would like the opportunity to work with probation, get continued services,
Okay, so this is what the court is trying to understand. According to the stipulations, and this is what you stipulated to, it says that the victim, which is one of the children, made an outcry at school of abuse while at home. R1 said that victim 2 was found to have a large welt on his left upper thigh as a result of being struck by his mother. R1 said that his sister goes to the same school as victim 2, and she was also interviewed by school staff. It was discovered that victim 1 had bruising on both inner thighs and also had a burn mark to her right inner thigh that she said was from a steam iron. R1 said that when asked how she was injured, victim 1 said that she fell off her bike. R1 said that victim's injuries were not consistent with falling off a bike. R1 said that victim was asked how she got the burn mark. R1 stated that victim 1 stated that her mother told her to unplug and put away a still hot steam iron, and she accidentally dropped it on her leg, causing the stated burn. So, are you saying that you didn't cause any of these injuries to the children?
No, the sleep on his eye, but she didn't either fall off the bike.
I want to talk about the welt mark from the other child. Yes.
So honestly, when I asked him to sign up with casework, what were they referring to? All he did was just the that he had on. Now you always notice when his response is slower.
So are you saying you didn't do it?
Then, but try to come up with that.
All right, and then on the PSI report on page 4, it says, Ms. Torres stated Ethan spoke of being in a closet for hours at a time. He feared of what would happen if he came out. Stated he was scared, bored, and hungry. He stated some of his siblings would check on him and play with him. He also spoke of a time when his mother choked him off the ground for losing his church book and slapping him. He spoke of being hungry and his mother not feeding him. So if none of this is true, why did you enter a plea? Why not go to a jury trial?
Because of communication that we have with the patient.
No. Do you want a jury trial, Will?
Notice how the judge is drilling into inconsistencies. In child injury cases, one contradiction can unravel the entire defense. And here, the PSI report is telling a different story from what the defendant claims. This is the courtroom equivalent of being backed into a corner.
I'll give you one today. We have a jury outside. That'll be here at 1:30. You want a jury trial? That's either yes or no. All right. Is there anything else from either side? Right. And defense, do you feel that your client's entering into this plea bargain agreement was voluntary? And Ms. Ramirez, was anything offered to you other than the plea bargain agreement? All right. All right. If there is nothing else for either side, the court is going to deny the application, find you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The court will sentence you to $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. And the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Judge, yeah, patient impact on speaking, so this here.
All right. All right, so here's the thing, everyone. I require that everyone treats everyone with respect. Just internalize what's being said. You may proceed.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
to be here. It has been over a year now that Ethan has been with me.
Everyone, please be quiet.
I have noticed a big change in him. He's a wonderful boy, caring and loving, to say the least. There is not much I can say about him and what he has done for me and my family. However, it was not easy to come to this point in our lives. When Ethan was placed in my care, he had some challenges that we both had to overcome. His behavior was all over the place. We had good days and bad days. He would tell me experiences he had grown up and tell me how he was treated when he was at home. He would talk about his brothers and sisters. When he felt like he did something wrong, he would go to his closet or his bedroom and stay in there until I was able to locate him. and explained to him that I was
Before victim impact statement. Brace yourself. We're about to hear from someone who's been living with the consequences of these actions. Victim impact statements aren't just emotional. They can influence sentencing by showing the court the long-term human cost of the crime.
not asking him to go there, and there was no reason to go in there. I told him he could come out so that we can talk about what happened and see if we could find a solution to what happened, because going to the closet and bathroom was not the solution to the problem. Ethan would be defiant when he was first placed in my care. We had a couple of issues at daycare the first couple of weeks. Nothing concerning that they had to call me to get him or that he had to be expelled. He was able to complete daycare until school started in the fall. When I would take him to see his mom and siblings, it was a bit of a struggle because he didn't really want to go. And when I picked him up, he would be distanced with me. It would take a couple of days before he would be open to me and listen. Also, he appeared to be quiet and sad. When I would ask him to help around the house, he would just go to his room and wouldn't help me. After a couple of days, he would come around and start to help and would be helpful and loving and would be more affectionate. As times went on, he got comfortable with me and my parents. He would call my mom and my dad Mima and Grandpa D. He would look at them as his grandparents and would enjoy going over there to visit them. There would be times when he would ask me, when are we going to go over to see them? He would even ask to spend the night as well. He loved going over there. He had the stability and the opportunity to see what family life can be. This summer, he also experienced his first flight. We took him to Nebraska for my nephew's wedding, who we referred to as his new cousin. He saw another side of the family, and they also treated him as one of their own. He had a great time. I can see it in his attitude and behavior. He was happy. One night, we sat down and watched a movie at my sister's house. He just sat right next to her as we watched the movie. He did this the next day with my brother-in-law. He just sat right next to him as they watched the movie together. At the beginning, he would express to me how I was living at home and would assume that he would be treated the same way here. I would have to explain to him over and over again that is not what we do here. So we do things differently. We deal with this issue. I have seen a big change in him since he was first placed in my care a little over a year ago. He is turning into a bright, caring little man with a future. When he was first placed in my care, he appeared to be sad and not caring. He had a negative attitude about things around him. He would only share with me what happened to him at home and his siblings. When I enrolled him into daycare, he didn't want to go. I was hoping that maybe he would make friends and have time to interact with kids his own age. It did take him some time to make friends and come home and tell me about them. I remember there was one child he would talk about and say that they didn't get along. I told him, remember this, you're going to change his mind and you're going to be friends. A couple of weeks later, they became friends. And at Ethan's birthday party, he was the only one in his daycare that showed up. He did have some challenges at times at daycare, and they made me aware of his behavior. We were able to work through them, and we were able to continue daycare throughout the summer. When it came time for him to start school, I did have some concerns. When it came time for the parent-teacher meeting, all I got was praises about him. He was a caring boy. As time went on, he would show what I would call the real Ethan. Caring and loving little boy he is and is meant to be. One of the things that impressed me is when he sees someone that needs help, he would ask me if we can help him out. There was one time during the summer, we were at a store, and a guy asked if he could wash my clothes for $10. And I thanked him and said no. When we went inside, he then looked at me and said, I have $1, and I gave it to you. I said, if that is what you like to do with it, go for it. He turned around and went to the guy, and I hear him tell him, here you go. And the guy said, no, I can't take that. Thank you. I told the guy, please take it. He wants to give it to you. He said thank you, and that Ethan was going to make him cry. I still remember that day. I will never forget that day. There's little things like this that have been able to see him grow, become a caring little boy. When we go somewhere like a park or swimming, he always wants to take us so that he can share with them, like water or in his water. This is not something that I saw in him when he was first placed with me. He would just talk about negative things in his life, and now he looks forward to living life. He's been making friends left and right where he goes. Take him to McDonald's, the playground, and he will make a friend. He calls them friend, not just someone he knew. A couple of weeks ago, I took him to a water park out of town, and while we were there, he made a friend and even exchanged numbers. At first, he would make friends, but a bit shy at first. Now, whenever I take him, he makes friends. When he plays with them, he makes sure that they are okay. He makes sure that they are having as much fun as he is. He is becoming a caring, kind, and confident little boy. He is seeing that the world around him isn't always full of negativity, and that he can be and is loved unconditionally. Thank you so much, and thanks for taking care of him. All right. Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 7879, State of Texas versus Linnea Ray. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record?
Catherine Fowler for the state.
And are you Linnea Ray?
Yes.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case that you reviewed with your client? Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. You understand you're charged with the offense of injury to a child as a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Yes. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The state recommends community supervision. Do you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense? Is that the entirety of the plea bargain agreement? State?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There'll be 150 hours of community service restitution, no harmful or injurious contact with Sky Ray, anger management, and parenting classes. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Judge. We authorize him work at state 1.
Would you, the doctor, have no objection, Your Honor, that's notified.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept evidence, states exhibits 1 and attachments, and we'll go off the record. Excuse me. Why are you at the door? Either you're in or you're out. Oh, the court will review states exhibits 1 and attachments. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yeah, please, sir.
Anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
There was no arrest.
She's coming.
No, she,
Yes.
no, this is just in the dark.
All right, how old is this child?
My daughter just turned 5 this year.
All right, so why would you be hitting your child because she doesn't want to eat?
I've lost control.
But you said in the police report I'm reading, you said that you didn't want her anymore. So I don't understand this. I don't understand someone repeatedly slapping a 5-year-old for not eating. So what do you think that did to her day? I'm sorry? I mean, what did that do to her day? So she's at a restaurant, probably a restaurant that she did not choose to go to, and you're slapping her, according to you, because she won't eat food. And then you're pushing the stroller. I'm assuming you're pushing it angrily, because then people and at the restaurant said you told her and told everybody you didn't want her anymore.
Or if I may, this is the anxiety that this is the whole.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, that's even worse. Because one, you now have a child who's staying at Haven for Hope. And I don't think she bought into, hey, let me be born to this mother where I'm placed in Haven for Hope.
This is one of those jaw-dropping moments in court. The judge's disbelief is real because slapping a 5-year-old over a meal isn't just excessive, it's abuse. And when a defendant admits to losing control, that's often the nail in the coffin for any chance at leniency.
So where is the child now?
My son's grandparents.
And you say your son's grandparents. I mean, how are they related to her?
They're not.
So now she's with people she doesn't even know, doesn't really have, well, they really don't have a biological connection to her.
You know her. They spend time with her.
Yeah. And you don't know how they're treating her, though,
No, they take care of all of my children.
because you're not.
No, because they love them as their grandchildren. Even my children aren't biologically related.
And what is Child Protective Services doing?
I agreed to allow her to stay there for us to successfully complete my program.
Yeah. I'm not going to order. I know outside the agreement it's no harmful or injurious contact, but I'm not going to allow you to have contact with her until you go through some type of therapy. It takes a lot for a parent to have birthed a child in the world, right? Or either for a father to have a child to, in public, in front of everybody, hit that child several times and then say, you don't want them anymore. I can't even imagine how she feels you telling her that. Do you know what that did to her confidence? Do you know how that made her feel? Because on the planet, everybody is hoping that their mom or their dad loves them more than everybody else. Everybody is hoping that as a child, you can always run to your mom for protection. Instead of doing that, you hit her in front of everybody. And guess what? Do you know what embarrassment that probably caused her? And what it cost her because she realizes that maybe her mom don't love her. Then you're saying you don't want her anymore. And I'm not trying to be mean to you, but you need to realize what you did and how that affected her. Because now her confidence is probably less than zero. Now she probably thinks her mom doesn't love her. And the embarrassment of it all in front of everybody. And I'm sure there were other children probably there too. And who knows what they probably said to her afterwards. Maybe, ha ha, your mom doesn't love you. So she's already dealing with the fact she doesn't have a mom who can have her in a home or an apartment, but has her at Haven for Hope. And she's dealing with all of that. And who knows what she's dealing with at school, because children can be cruel. And people say children are cruel because they don't know any better. It's because their parents don't teach them any better. So she's at school, and I'm sure they probably know she's staying at Haven for Hope. And then she has all of this other stuff that she's dealing with. And she doesn't have her own little private space where she can go and just decompress. Instead, she's having to deal with you, and you're putting your adult problems on her. I am not going to allow her to have contact with this child till she goes through some kind of.
Notice how the judge is connecting the dots. Unstable housing, public humiliation, and lack of parental protection all pile onto the child's trauma. This isn't just a single incident. It's a chain of harm that could shape her entire future. Judges weigh that heavily when deciding restrictions on contact.
Therapy, and the child goes to therapy to see, does she want to be with mom? Does she trust mom to take care of her and not injure her? So that's what I'm doing. So knowing that, do y'all still want to continue with the agreement? All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years in prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. There's a $1,500 fine. That will be probated. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with minors. There's to be no contact with Sky Ray. And counsel, you can approach after she's completed therapy and after the child has had some therapy. You can always approach and ask me to lift the no contact order. But for now, there's to be no contact. There's 150 hours of community service restitution. There's to be parenting classes with Triple T. Of course, as Child Protective Services is giving her parenting classes, the court will accept that. I don't want any overlapping of services. So why are you at Haven for Hope?
Well, I know one thing.
Yes.
Parenting classes may involve some supervised visitation between the child.
She will have to approach the court. And when you approach the court on that, the CPS worker needs to be here and also the child's attorney. All right. So why were you at Haven for Hope?
I lived in my apartment for 7 years. The caseworker that had my file, she quit. So everybody that was on her desk got delayed. So my 2 options was to renew my lease for a couple of months and have a broken lease once my new voucher came in. I only needed to wait 30 days until my new voucher came in. I already did all the paperwork, everything was done. I was just staying Haven for Hope until my voucher kicked in. I found the apartment within the first week. It was a brand new apartment, 2-bedroom. I was just waiting for my voucher to come in.
All right. So why are you not working?
I get exercise
For what?
mental health.
I'm going to want field visits probation. Sorry, it's going to be 4 times per month, and they need to go into the home and make sure that there are no minors in the home. Oh, I'm sorry, anger management classes. And make sure that's intensive. And she's going to have to do anger management classes other than what she's been given at the jail. Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right. Ms. Ray, is there anything else you need from the court? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? And also, because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. All right, go.